Begin with my student 2. Okay, set it. Still, if it is a column, then like expiry column, shutdown column is there, then we'll connect it to internet. I will show you that one later. But now this is second user, right? So that's it. I'm signing out from my student 2. I'm signing in as student 1. So the next one is disk management. Okay, this is user management. First part is user management. Next one will see the disk management. Okay, so what is this disk management? So we have a disk and we will create a partitions. What is the disk management? Very simply create or manage partition. Okay, so here we see different things here. So you have a disk. I put a 160 GB disk. I put a 160 GB disk. My hard disk is 160 GB hard disk. Now entire 160 hard disk will divide into multiple partitions. So why? Because in entire 160 GB hard disk, we are having an operating system. Okay, we have an operating system only. But now what happened? I have different files. For example, I have a music files are there, or video files are there, or documents are there, virtual machines are there. I cannot keep everything into the OS drive only. Why? Because of there is a several reasons. One is your voice is corrupted. Then you format your PC. Your voice is corrupted, you formatted it. You may lost the data. You may lost the data. And operating system and other files are existing in the same place. It slow down your system. It slow down your system. Okay. So next, anyway, we never generally we don't put everything in one place. We put everything in a separate folders, separate drive. So it is very easy to access and very easy to maintain. So in these reasons, what are the reasons? I want to store a particular data type into the particular partition. Okay, so then it is quite easy to access the files from the partition. For example, I want to go with my operating system files or application related files. All are stored in this particular Z drive only. Look at here. My OS related means I download lot of OSs like ISO images, applications. So I store in a Z drive. Our class files, class related videos or files, I store in E drive. Okay. Virtual machine, I store in H drive. Remaining all previous files and regular required files are stored in a F drive. My drivers and one or two files are in a T drive. Okay. So why I'm putting? It is easy to access. Easy to access. Don't put a more button on a C drive. Already is a lot of button. So don't put a more button on a C drive. Okay. So like that, we can create a partitions. This is the disk management. That is first point. So second point I will show you once we went to the virtual machine. How to go to disk management? Disk mgmt.msc. I use this command for a disk management. This is local users and group. create and manage the users. You can go to this one. This is for disk management, computer management, event management, service management. Okay. The first one is I am going to disk mgmt.msc, disk management, disk mgmt.msc, and run. Also, I want to show you this PC. So you have only one single drive, C drive. D drive is our CD DVD kind of stuff, but C drive is 160 GB, means almost 159 GB, 140 GB free space, 140 GB free space. Guys, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Very good. This is disk management window. This is disk management window. You can see there is a C drive, and other don't have any drive letters. These are all system partitions related only. When it is installing, when you are installing OS, these are created. That is good for a Windows machine also. This is my C drive, 160 GB, completely full. I can't able to create any partition here. To create a partition, we need a unallocated space. Okay. To create a partition, we need unallocated space is required. Otherwise, you cannot create it. So what to do now? C drive 140 GB free space. Out of 160 GB, 140 space is there. So what I'm trying to do is, out of this 140 free space, I will take 100 GB out of this free space. I have a 160 GB, 20 GB is already used, 140 GB free space is there. What I'm doing is, I will take 100 GB, I will cut 100 GB to it. So what happened? 60 GB for your C drive. Okay, this is your C drive. 60 GB for C drive. 140 GB, sorry, 100 GB remaining space. In that one, I will create a partition. In that one, I will create a partition. Okay, we'll see how to do it. I want a 100 GB out of this one. I think 60 GB is enough for my current OS. Actually, you have to put a more than 100 GB for C drive, but we'll see. So here what we are doing is, you have to shrink the volume. To take free space from existing partition or a volume. Okay. We will take a free space as unallocated. We'll create an unallocated from existing partition. So very simple. C drive, right click, shrink volume. Okay, 100 GB, 102400. So out of 140 GB, I take only 100 GB free space. Okay, and after you're taking, your C drive becomes 60 GB. Shrink It is C drive 100 GB unallocated. You guys understand how to get 100 GB out of your 160 GB or 140 GB free space from out of 140 GB free space? That is extended volume. So I will show you again. Now tell me how to take a 100 GB from 140 GB. Right click, shrink volume. 100 GB 102400. Here it is, as notification is there. You cannot sync a volume beyond the point where unremoved files are located. See the defrag event in the application location like that. So what you do before you create, before you taking a free space from it, like creating unallocated from free space, better to do defragmentation. Shrink. Okay, so this is unallocated. It will make a noise, but I didn't able to see. I don't know, guys. You understand or not understand, and outside noise is become very high. The construction is going on nearby. Okay, this is I got a 100 GB unallocated. Okay, so we can create a partition in a unallocated space. So I'm going to create a 20 GB drive from 100 GB unallocated now. So right click on this unallocated, new simple volume, next. This is 100 GB it is showing, so I'm creating 20 GB 20480. 20480 means 20 GB. Next, it is by default showing like a drive letter is E drive, no problem. Next, it is a Ntfs or FAT. I choose Ntfs and quick format, and volume is like this. Okay, so you can change the volume name also here. Okay, otherwise go to next, finish. Now see this 20 GB E drive is creating. The unallocated become 80 GB, 20 GB free space is created. See this 20 GB drive is created. 20 GB drive is created. Guys, understand? This is my E drive. Okay, so now create a partition. We need an unallocated partition, and we done a shrinking. We got 100 GB. Out of 100 GB, 20 GB is created. How we created? Right click on a unallocated, new simple volume. Okay, new simple volume. So we put a next like that. So important is 20480. You may get a confused. What is 20480? I think I given already. So 1 kilo, 1 kb means 1024 bytes. 1 MB meaning is 1024 kilobytes. 1 GB meaning is 1024 megabytes. So there it is showing in a megabyte wise. That's why I given like this. So for this one, 20 GB meaning is 2048 MB. Okay, 20 into this, we'll get it. On TV, 1024 GB. So this is my space. Then of course, next, finish. Simple. We create the partition. Now guys, I want to create a 10 GB drive from remaining 80 GB unallocated. How to create? Tell me.
Right click, simple volume.
Very good. Next, how much I have to put it here? 10 means 1 GB, like 1024. 0 means 10.
Right.
Next, finish. So 10 GB F drive is created.
Sir, what is Ntfs file system?
Yeah, I will come to that one. Very good. Okay, so very good. So understand, right? So how to create a partition, and of course there is a conditions also there. Not a condition, so some more points also there. So I will come to file system also. First of all, so we created a partition. Now we have a C drive, E drive, F drive, and some still unallocated partitions are there. I created already 3 partitions plus already 2 are there. C is there plus this one, this plan plus these 2 things. Totally 5 partitions are there. 3 are having letters. Other 2 are not having any drive letters. So without a drive letter, you can't access data. Yeah, so here it again. So we'll see. You can see a extended volume. I want to increase my 10 GB to 20 GB. So I have a 70 GB unallocated next to the F drive. So then I can increase my 10 GB to 20 GB. How to extend? Right click on 10 GB, this F drive, extend volume. So you can read this one when you do it. Compulsory read it. This wizard help you to increase the size of the simple and span volume. You can extend the volume by adding space from one or more additional disk. Now in this one, I want to add another 10 GB, 10240. 10240. Next, finish it. Now my F drive become 20 GB. The size of the F drive is increased. You can see, just refresh. See, it is become 20 GB. Okay, F drive become 20 GB. This is a extended volume. Now I want to still I have an unallocated space 60 GB. I want to extend my E drive. I want to increase my size of the E drive. Right click. Can you see? Extend volume. Extend volume is not showing here. Extend volume is not showing here. So why it is not showing? There is a reason. The unallocated partition must be adjacent to your partition. Means like this. Compulsory. This is F drive unallocated. E drive, immediately it should be unallocated. Okay. It is like a, you can say unallocated must be like this. This is the partition. This is unallocated. Must be this side. Side also must be there and must be adjacent. This is partition, for example, E drive, and this is unallocated. You want to add it? You can't add it. You can add it like this, but you can't add it like this. And also, this is E drive. Okay. And there is a F drive and unallocated. You want to add like this or like this? You can't. F drive can be added, but E drive cannot be added. So remember that one, extended volumes. So I make my 10 GB as a 20 GB. So what are the things we discussed? So disk management, okay, shrinking volume, creating new simple volume, we done. And also same steps we follow, right? So right click on a unallocated space. Like a 10 GB volume I created. Next, what I done on it, right click on drive. Okay, I go to extend because of unallocated is there. So I go to extended. How much extension you want it? 1024 0. Okay, so then next finish and check the volume. That is my drive is become guys, I didn't write any drive letters here. This is a E drive, this is F drive is created, but it is not stable because based on your system, things will be changes. Just like a practical understand in a practical way. Don't do these things in your computer until unless you know very well. This is disk management. Next one is what is this Ntfs and file? And before that one, there is a one point I have to tell. If you see this disk 0, right click on disk 0, you can see convert into MBR disk. Convert into MBR disk. It means the disk type is GPT disk. Disk type is GPT disk. So this is called like a partition style. The type. Type is not correct word, so style is correct word. Okay. Types are there. One is MBR GPT. MBR meaning is master boot record. GUID partition table. GUID partition table. MBR master boot record GUID partition table for GPT. So if your disk type is your disk is MBR type, if disk is MBR type, you can create 4 primary partitions only. You can create 4 primary partitions or 3 primary and 1 extended. One extended in extended we can create multiple logic drives. So this is MBR type, and each partition for up to 2 terabyte. On another hand, GPT 128 primary partitions able to create it, no extended, logical drives. Okay, and of course partition support up to more than 2 terabyte and up to 18 EB as per certain books. Okay, so this is your partition style, MBR type and GPT type. Simple to understand. Here is a paintbrush. I create a partition. For example, this is MBR type. This is MBR type. When you insert a new disk, it will ask for a initialize as a MBR or GPT. I created a partition. First primary partition completed. Second primary partition completed. Okay. So third primary partition is completed. I created third primary. Then fourth. Okay. So the fourth, if you done primary, then done only. If any unallocated is there, you can't do any partitions here. 4 is maximum. Either 4 partitions or 4 primary partitions or 3 partitions, and we'll go with 1 extended there. Like this. We'll make this fourth one as a completely extended partition. Inside, you can able to create a logical partitions again. Okay, this is the standard rule. So this is the MBR type. If it is a GPT type, in GPT 128 straight for partitions, you can able to create it. So no need of this extended kind of stuff. Okay. So 3 primary, 1 extended. In extended, we create a logical drives. So that is a MBR. GPT type of drives are GUID partition table. So 128 primary. So each partition is in MBR support up to 2 terabytes. Okay, if you are using GPT type, each partition more than 2 terabytes support is highest is 18 EB for a single partition. Okay. So just I will give you a more small introduction to file system. What is this file system? Okay. So of course we do some practicals in file system also. We'll do it. Yeah. File system define how to store or allocate data in disk, in storage device like your pen drive or maybe your external hard disk or your memory card or a hard disk or a CD-ROM, whatever it is. There is a file system. File system defines how to store a data or allocate a data, means how to arrange, allocate, or you can say arrange the data in a proper order. For example, in my home currently in Pune, I didn't arrange properly, so it's little bit still there is a lot of things to arrange properly. If I arrange it, then I will get more space. I randomly throwing everything, like you have a wardrobe, then you put a clothes inside. So usually like a boys, what they will put it, like they take a thing, shirt or pant, whatever the clothes are there. We put it randomly, like we put like this, so then automatically it occupies more space because of gaps and spaces between the data. Okay, not properly arranged. But if you give it to your mom or any sister or thing, they arrange it properly. So then more space you can able to see it. So it is to define how to store a data or arrange the data in a disk. So what are the different file systems? FAT, Ntfs. When it comes to the Windows, these are the main two in file systems. Of course, there is other file systems also introduced. REFS, exFAT. Linux also having a different file system, that is ext3 or ext4 file systems. FAT means file allocation table. FAT32 are currently available. FAT or a FAT16, you can say FAT16, FAT12 kind of stuff, but generally we see that one as a FAT only. It partition support up to 4 GB. Maximum partition size is 4 GB, not more than that one FAT won't support. This is FAT32 partition support up to 32 GB. You cannot create more than 32 GB partition. You can't create a more than 32 GB partition size. You want to see it? I'll show you that one. So look at here. I got a 60 GB unallocated. Right click, simple volume. Next. So I took an entire 60 GB. I took entire 60 GB. C drive, okay. So it is showing exFAT, not FAT. exFAT it is showing, not FAT. Ntfs and exFAT only it is showing. Or I will reduce like a 30 GB, right? So 30 GB means around 20 GB we know. 32 GB. We have to calculate. 32 into 1024. I will put it 32,000. So it is showing FAT Ntfs. It's less than 32. Whatever I given, I didn't given more. It is almost near to 32. So that's why it is showing. It is around a 30 GB only. So it is FAT 32. And if I select FAT 32, you can see this option is disabled. Okay, if I put Ntfs, this option is enabled. That's the difference. Okay, it does not support more than 32 GB. But your pen drives, memory cards, now we are getting memory cards more than 32 GB, right? Earlier days, it's a 1 GB, 2 GB memory cards are very dominated. Now it is 32 GB is not enough. Okay, memory card is 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB, 256 GB, 512 GB. Like your mobile phone supporting up to 2 terabytes of memory cards nowadays. So more than big 32 GB memory card is there. What to do? Go to exFAT. For more than 32 GB. So that's a exFAT. For memory cards we use it. So Ntfs. Support up to 2 terabytes and more also. So old limit is 2 terabyte. Now more than 2 terabyte. Support more than 2 terabytes also. But here it is important point of Ntfs is you can store bigger files. Big files you can able to store. Here you cannot store big size files. So that is one important, but we'll come to features of Ntfs. Quota, security, compress, index, encrypt. These are the main 5 features of Ntfs. So how you know some of things, we'll show you that from here. Look at here guys, this is E drive, is Ntfs drive. I'm going to properties. This is F drive, also Ntfs. I need a fat drive to show you that one. I will take a 10 GB fat drive. 1010240 and go to fat. Automatically file and compression is disabled because that fuse is not there. Now this is a 10 GB fat drive. This is Ntfs, this is fat. See what are the differences? In the bottom we can't see these things. Compress not showing, indexing kind of stuff also not showing. Like compression is not showing here option. Other things, general tab, tools, hardware, sharing, and security. The security tab is there here. Okay, security tab is not showing here. So means that is a feature. Custom quota. So you can see, cannot see quota also. Previous version ready boost are showing here. What important? Security tab is not there here. And quota tab is also not there in the fat drive. In general tab, compression is there. Here it is, compression is not there. So that is the main differences between FAT and Ntfs. It is a file system. Ntfs having a features like a quota. What is a quota? Means assign or reserve a particular place, particular a size to a user. So for a user, it is a particular space only. So like a out of 200 GB, user get only 20 GB. That is like we are assigning only 20 GB to a user, standard users. Or we can reserve the 20 GB. User can use up to 20 GB. He can able to store the data. I will show you that when in practically if possible. Security, it is giving access permissions. ACL. That is network related. This is file related. Give access permissions to users or groups. Compress. You can compress the data so you can save space in disk. Indexing. Index. What is index? Which is used to search, index the data so we can use it for a files easily. Encrypt the data. It encrypt the data. Other users cannot access the data without certificate or a key. So this is features of Ntfs. Next we will see that what is how to create a quota, how to create a security compression. These three things we'll see: quota, security, and encryption. So totally this is a disk management. First part, okay, disk management means how to manage the partitions, how to create and manage the partitions. You have a more disk space, free space is available. If you want to create a partition, so go to that partition and then right click, go to shrink. Before shrinking, better to do defragmentation. Better to do defragmentation. Okay. So when you do shrinking, unallocated partition will be created. So based on your unallocated partition, you can create a drives inside. So when you create a drive, how many drives you can able to create it? If you are using a MBR type of disk, 4 primary partitions or 3 primary or 1 extended. In extended, we can create a logical drives. GPT 128 primary partitions, you can able to create it. So when you create a partition, it is asked for a file system, define the file system. So we format the system, right? So we call it as a format. Pen drive format, D drive format, like this. What is format? Format means define the file system. Not removing everything, just format. Thing is defining file system. Okay. In the file system, very important, FAT and Ntfs. FAT is don't have certain features like Ntfs, and FAT 32 support up to 32 GB. Ntfs support up to 2 terabyte and as well as more than 2 terabytes also. Ntfs having features like a quota, security, compress, index, and encryption. That's it for now. Okay, guys, take a 10 minutes break. Just 10 minutes only, not more than that one. It's already 1 o'clock.